Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about how Twitch's CEO is officially stepping down. Now this news actually literally just broke a few minutes ago. I'm seeing it on Twitter now. People are finally kind of starting to respond to this entire thing. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to hop on here and I'm going to record a video real quick about this entire thing, because obviously this is a pretty major shakeup, and it's also pretty similar to the situation that we covered here on the channel just a few weeks ago when YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki announced that she would also be stepping down, and YouTube announced a replacement at the CEO position, which obviously is a very lucrative and very important position in any company, let alone in a massive online broadcasting company like a YouTube or a Twitch. Now, of course, this is going to probably end up sparking some debate on whether or not this is a good or a bad thing for Twitch. We're going to kind of recap some of the most recent decisions that Twitch has kind of come up with. And overall, we're just going to kind of talk about this, man, because, you know, recently we've been seeing, like, a lot of these companies, you know, have these kinds of major shakeups. You know, Twitter, it went through the entire thing with Elon Musk over the last, like, what, year and a half, 2 years now, something like that. Over at YouTube, like I said, Susan Wojcicki has just recently announced that she is going to be stepping out of the CEO position at YouTube as well. And then now, well, we have Twitch's CEO, Emmett Shear, announcing that after 16 years of working on Twitch, or Justin TV as it's even referred to in his farewell, Emmett Shear is officially stepping down from the CEO position. So, outlined in a farewell post, Shear says his work at Twitch actually began in 2006, back before the site was even called Justin TV. Citing the birth of his first child, Shear says the decision will allow him to focus on his family and tackle new challenges. However, while he is leaving his CEO position, Shear does plan to continue to work with Twitch in a, quote, advisory role. Replacing Shear will be Dan Clancy, the current Twitch president. Quote, Dan Clancy, our current president, has been a close partner to me these past few years. He will step fully into the role of CEO effective immediately, Shear confirmed. Quote, he cares deeply about the Twitch community, its streamers, and our staff, and understands what makes Twitch Twitch. In his farewell blog post, the outgoing CEO concluded, quote, I have a deep sense of gratitude as well for all the streamers who trusted us early with their content and their communities, and all the streamers who have continued to do so to this day. I know some of you may find it hard to believe, but supporting as many of you as possible is the #1 goal for everyone at Twitch and always has been. I also want to thank Amazon for being the best acquirer I could have hoped for. Amazon truly supported us and really allowed a product as different as Twitch the room to grow and to be itself. So a little bit of backstory here. The CEO, Emmett Shear, or I should say now the former CEO of Twitch, Emmett Shear, has been somebody who has been working on this platform basically since the beginning. I mean, even as it says right at the beginning of this article piece we just took a look at from Dexerto, this started all the way back in 2006 before the site was even called Justin.tv, which, if you didn't know, was the name that Twitch actually rocked before they came out with Twitch. This was all the way back, it's been at least a decade ago at this point since all that was going on, but at the time, man, you just kind of had to be there, you know? Justin TV and Twitch TV, not necessarily the same things. Justin TV was like the predecessor to everything, but this is somebody who's been actually like routinely involved in the Twitch project for years, you know? Damn near 2 decades. I mean, that's a crazy amount of time to dedicate to a project, and even after stepping out of the CEO role, we'll continue to see, I guess, Emmett Shear actually work with Twitch in that advisory role that was mentioned in the article. Now, this is kind of flying a little bit under the radar, I feel like, at least from the initial reactions that I'm seeing. You know, I felt like this would probably be even larger of a deal. Maybe it's because it's still earlier in the day, but it's looking like people are just kind of like glossing over this entire thing, which is insane to me, because a change like this, at least from what I understand, should have been completely like hailed or something by the Twitch community. I mean, obviously, a lot of streamers and viewers alike have definitely been very displeased with the direction of Twitch over even the last few years. And to be fair, you know, poor performance or like poor ideas or whatever you want to call it, right? Like, you know, that's not really the issue at hand here. That's not why Emmett Shear is stepping away from this CEO role. In fact, according to the tweets that we've seen and everything, more or less it comes down to the fact that, well, Emmett is expecting, or has actually just had, his first child. And I mean, Emmett just wants to focus more on, you know, being a father and being there for his child that's now been born. Honestly, I really understand and respect the decision. I feel like at least most people probably do. It's not really, I feel like, something that most people would look at and be like, oh, that's a terrible reason or whatever, but it is still a major shakeup, and it kind of like like literally comes right at the perfect time, it seems like I said, with some of the other departures and things that have happened in the industry with other companies. But this Dan Clancy, who is the current Twitch president, will be stepping up into that CEO role. So what exactly does this mean? Because obviously now that, well, this news has broke, a lot of people's new primary question is, well, what the hell is going to happen next? And honestly, can you really blame people for having that kind of mentality? That's probably the perfect way to react, because in a situation like this, when you're talking about a company that's as large as Twitch, it's an Amazon subsidiary at this point, these kinds of shakeups, these kinds of changes, right, and bringing in somebody new to fill a void like this in a position of power, let's just be frank, can go a lot of different ways. I mean, people, they run companies differently, they have different ideas on what makes things, work and not work for your company. And over time, with this new person coming in, this Dan Clancy, who is the current president and whatnot, who really knows what's going to happen, right? We don't really seem to know, but honestly, like, I would have to imagine a whole lot of the same. And I know that sounds like, it's pessimistic, man. You're thinking of the glass half empty instead of the glass half full. But I mean, there's multiple reasons, and like, it really kind of goes down the same route that I was talking about, at least in the video where I discussed, Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, stepping down. There's been a very noticeable shift in online dialogue over, I would say, the last half decade. And I've noticed, and I mean, you can look and see for yourself at any point, pretty much, a lot of the newer people who are coming into these positions in the tech industry, especially, don't necessarily believe in free speech the most. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not everybody going into computer science or something like that, but I mean, in a lot of these positions, we've started to notice, people who are getting placed into these high roles and whatnot are people who are very, like, heavy against misinformation, quote unquote, and all these other things, right, that eventually just lead, at least in situations like Twitch and whatnot, to mistakes happening between the platform and the creators / the community, which just sows distrust and it just ruins people's perspective on the platform. And obviously it's really all up to speculation right now, because we don't necessarily know what Dan Clancy is going to do once he steps into this role. I mean, for all we know, Dan Clancy could be the savior that Twitch needed, or, well, Dan Clancy could just be another one of these people at Twitch that's completely out of touch with the community and, maybe doesn't lead it down the best way possible. Now, I'm not gonna lie, and I understand that, like, I would say probably have a bias against Twitch because I've openly disliked the platform for a long time now, but I don't see this going well for the community and for creators. Like I said, just the way that social media and tech companies and whatnot have gone in the last, 5 years, a lot of the things that have become issues with the community on Twitch are just not things of priority to a lot of these people in power, They don't care if there's 7,000 bikini streams flooding the just chatting section. They don't care, if people are doing crazy shit, as long as it's not somebody they can, get some sort of revenge on or whatever, right? There's a lot of issues with Twitch, and, people have been saying this for a long time, and of course, Twitch is not the only platform online that has problems, but the problems that Twitch does have are ones that are actually really harming the company and also harming the outlook. I mean, obviously, any person who's going to step into this role now is going to have to address the future of this company. And how do you do that, right? You're losing, your total streaming hours, you're losing viewership in pretty big amounts compared to where it was in the pandemic. You're losing market share. You have competitors like YouTube and Kick that are just throwing money left and right at creators and building features for their platforms. The future is not, set in stone for Twitch. Like, there is going to be a point in time over the next few years where Twitch is going to have to really start to accelerate and start to try and actually regain market share and start trying to actually push forward to, continue to compete to be that number one platform for online streaming and online gaming and stuff like that. Because, YouTube, they're owned by Google. They have money to throw at a project like this. Kick, from what I understand, they've got investor money to throw right now. So what is going to happen next? I mean, odds are, I feel like at least, we're probably going to see Dan Clancy not mesh well with the community. And I don't say that because, it's popular to hate on Twitch. No, it's because from the culture that has has already just completely been proven to be there, right, at Twitch as a company, right? Like, all the times that there's been controversies and issues with the company that they didn't address to the community, all of this history has kind of built up between the community and Twitch, you know, where there's so many examples you can point to of them just completely dropping the ball. And that is like a company-wide problem where they don't communicate things very well. They oftentimes do the most unpopular thing that they can do in a situation. These types of things, especially for someone stepping into this role, these are hard to manage for a company of this scale, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, what they do is not the right thing. They don't have the right answer most of the time here. And that's what these guys know, you know what I mean? Like for Dan Clancy here, however long he's been at Twitch as the president, he's been watching the moderation staff act this way and, you know, the Twitch team act this way and do these things that have completely caused so much issues with the community. And I feel like at this point, they're mentally trained to kind of continue down that path because, I mean, that's what they know. That's what they've been seeing the company do. So it's not like this is someone brand new who's just coming in, stepping in fresh to the company as a fresh face to like shake things up or like make things better. That's not really what's going on here. But at the end of the day, I mean, we'll have to really wait and see before we have an answer on whether or not this is going to work out. I mean, obviously we can't just automatically say like this is destined for failure. I mean, you can definitely predict that, and I wouldn't say you're wrong for predicting that, but at the end of the day, you kind of just have to go with it at a certain point, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day here, like what exactly is going to happen, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but it could be a major change at Twitch that could lead to maybe some changes in how things are going. We don't really know. We'll have to wait and see, but with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the Twitch CEO stepping down and signing out.